Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you around the world in your different time zones. Here we are. It's Thursday once again. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London, and it's 10 a.m. Friday in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of Talk Back Live for this Thursday. My name is Frank Allan. I am going to be with you for the next hour. We hope that you stay with us too, because we have a lot to talk about and have you involved into it. And speaking of all of that, I would like to let all of the people who have been here for the first time, who are here for the first time, first of all, come on in, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. Now, let me explain what happens on the show here. You can get involved in the show. Now, what I do is that being the host of the show, of course, I will throw out the topics, keep things rolling. And in between all of that, you can do your own little input. You have questions and thoughts and ideas, or you want to conversate about the topics that we're talking about, or even have your own little topic that you want to rope into the program. We will be glad to do that. We'll entertain all of you for doing that. That's how we do it right here. For those of you who have been joining us all of this time, thank you all so much for joining. Now, all of you ought to know that we come from three different places. We broadcast from three different places. We're live on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube as well, all of that. So pick your choice. So I just want to say hello to all of you guys who are joining us live on Facebook. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Over at Instagram and YouTube. Thank you so much for being along with us. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the time right now while the show is young, while we're getting started and we're doing all the formalities here. I want you to tag all of your friends. Tag this show. You can do that. You can tag this show right now to all of your friends. They will see the notifications if they're online. And they'll click onto that notification and it'll bring them right here to us. They'll see you, they'll see me, and others who may be coming along and watching us as well. So we want you to do that right now. Now, for those of you who are YouTube watchers, we invite all of you, even if you're a Facebook watcher or Instagram watcher, we invite all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because when you do that, that will give you the chance to know when we come on live, when we post something, either a photo or some kind of video or something. And again, when we come on live, you'll get the notification, and all you have to do is click that notification and it'll pop right to you. And remember that everything is free. We don't charge for anything. Membership is free. That's an important word, isn't it? Free. Freebie. So all you have to do is click onto that little strip where it says, that red strip where it says subscribe to it, and you're in like Flint. You're a full-fledged member. You can follow us all the time at any time. And so there you have it. That's to do it. And then I want to say hello to all of my friends over there on Instagram. They're watching us. All you have to do is to continue to spread the word, follow us, spread the word, tell your family and friends. And you can do that right now. Call them up or email them right now and tell them to come on the side. Now, we've got our regular thing planned on, not too far away in the show. Brian Camp is going to be along with us. Brian Camp coming directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. We always link up with him. We can do that from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina. He'll be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I'm pretty sure he'll have a lot of great sports news to talk about. Football game is almost over. Football is almost over. We're almost at the part where we get to the Super Bowl. And we'll be talking about all of that. That's coming up. And of course, we have all of this day in history. We remind you of what we have that marks this day in history, events that happen, birthdays, and all of that. That's all coming along, and a whole lot more. And of course, you. And as I said, if you're here with us, be part of the show. And those of you who are watching, you may be in different time zones where a lot of you may be up and at 'em right now. Maybe getting ready to go off to work in the morning. We're there in the morning, and you go there, and of course you want to take time and stay at your desk and watch us there. Some of you are having lunch, right? You're sitting at your desk having lunch. I don't know. Some of you are having dinner. Some of you are on your way home. Some of you, wherever you are, wherever you go, we can be there. We can be there right with you. And it's not like the old days where you have to sit at home and watch. You have a cell phone. Everyone has one of those, right? You have a cell phone. You can connect there. You could watch us while you're in commute to wherever you're going, But if you're driving, if you're the driver, don't bother, all right? We'd rather for you not to watch the show. Don't bother. If you have passengers, sure, why not? Let them do it while they're on the road. They are taxi drivers, you may have pick up some people who are watching. If you hear that sound, just get them to the destination safe. So that's how it is. That's how we do it each week right here on Talk Back Live. So I want to thank all of you for being along with us. We've got a lot of wet weather here in New York. I don't know about where you are, but it's kind of wet here. And we're going to continue to get wet weather even to the overnight period. And then it'll kind of clear up by the weekend. We'll be dry over the weekend. We don't know too much about it yet, but we'll tell you a lot about that. But, the weather has this way of throwing a curveball. I hope that you have a great long weekend. This is a short week for you guys, right? Because most of you guys have taken off for Monday, which the celebration and the commemoration and the observation of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Now, Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday was on Sunday, this past Sunday, right? It was on this past Sunday. But we celebrated on that Monday. And I know here in New York, and I'm pretty sure different parts of the country too, they had festivities all around the country of Dr. Martin Luther King and a lot of things to learn about him. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people went to, I know here in New York, they had a lot of big festivities around town. And that's what you do each week. When you have a holiday like that, make it a meaningful holiday. Don't think of it as a holiday of sitting back and barbecuing and things like that. That's not really what the holidays are all about, if you want to be technical about it. That's just a tradition. We don't knock it, but that's the main, we're just letting you know that's the main part of the holiday, whatever holiday that you celebrate. The holiday has nothing to do with all of your great activities. And I'm pretty sure you had a lot of great activities. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here as if you're just joining us. It's now 7.5 minutes past the hour right now. If you're just joining us, I want to invite you in once again. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. So tell your family and your friends about it. It's a whole big ball game here. We're going to have a good time. Okay, we got a little entertainment news. I talk about entertainment news. DJ Pete does the entertainment news on the coffee hour every Friday morning. But, he's not on this show. So I have a little information here, but this is kind of like heartbreaking information in entertainment. And then I usually relay that. I like to get some good stuff out too, but we have to acknowledge this too. The Italian actress Gina Lollobrigida, one of the biggest stars of European cinema in the 1950s and 60s, died this past Monday. Did you hear about that? You heard about that? She's a legendary actor. And she was often described as the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay. Okay, right. And her films included Beat the Devil. She was in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and of course, a movie called Beautiful but Dangerous. That would describe her, right? Beautiful but dangerous. Most beautiful women are dangerous. Anyway, she co-starred alongside the likes of Humphrey Bogart, Frank Sinatra, Rock Hudson, Errol Flynn, and so many other people. And she was 95 years old when she passed away. So she lived a full life, and she got along in the cinema. Everybody liked her. She was very popular back in the 50s and the 60s. Very beautiful too. And if you don't know who Gina Lollobrigida is, if you're young and you're not aware of her, you could always Google her. You could see her pictures, some of the pictures up to the time of her death. And of course, pictures when she was younger. You could check out and to see how beautiful she was back then. You go Google it. kept photos of her, watched the photos, dating in somewhere back in the 1950s and 60s. And you'll see she was a beautiful, beautiful woman. And I remember that movie that she starred with Frank Sinatra, Never So Few. She starred in that movie with him. Yeah. So there you go. So Gina Lollobrigida, 95 years old, and we send condolences out to her family, her friends, all her relatives, all of the people who worked with her, and people who loved her, her fans and everything. Later on, her career went at a standstill. I don't know if it was her choice or not, but later on she became a cinema photographer. So she kept active. She kept really active. A lot of people, you don't see them much. That doesn't mean that they're not busy and they're not working, but she became a cinema photographer in her late years. So so she did her work. She put in a good life at the age of 95. I also learned before I got off the air tonight, and a lot of you just learned this probably about the same time I learned it. David Crosby, the singer and songwriter and guitarist and a member of the Byrds, and of course, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, right? He passed away. He died, and he was 81 years old. I just got that news today. And a lot of us learned about it. A lot of us know. I used to listen to David Crosby back in the old days when I was in college. I say the old days because that was a long time ago. When I was in college, I used to listen to his music. He was with the Byrds, like I said, and then Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But he was more famous or more popular to me when he was with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And then, later on, they kind of edited the name because one of the members dropped out, then became Crosby, Stills and Young. Crosby, Stills and Young, right, because Nash broke out. It's David Crosby, Stephen Stills, and those guys, there were four of them originally. But anyway, that's what happened. He passed away. Now, we don't have, they never mentioned what he passed away or how he passed away, and neither did they do with Gina Lollobrigida. But as I always say, it's not important how a person dies. It's important how they live. And David Crosby, he had a great musical career, so as Gina Lollobrigida with a great film career. But it's very important, how they lived. And so there you go. Again, it's David Crosby at the age of 81 years old. I mean, I really hate bringing that kind of news. It's just too depressing, but, it's entertainment news. And, me being an entertainment buff and a historian of music and film, I have to, relay these things, whatnot. And so there you go. The beat rolls on. Okay, it's now 13 minutes, coming up to 14 minutes. Well, now it's 14 minutes, 13 minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes past the hour right now. And those of you who are watching anyway, remember that you can watch us anywhere around the world, no matter where you go, anywhere around the world, because we're on your computer, we're on your cell phone, we're everywhere. We're worldwide, we're global, and tell your friends about it. And remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other broadcast facility or any other facilities like, let's say, media, social media facility. They don't necessarily express those thoughts with us. We just do that disclaimer each week because we're on our own here. We want to be responsible. A lot of people, they have shows on YouTube and Instagram and all over the place, and some are irresponsible. You've seen any of these shows out here, right? You've seen them all, right? A lot of shows out here, and a lot of people are doing good with them, and some are very entertaining, and some are dangerously entertaining, and you have to know what I'm talking about. You see a lot of things. I mean, I may get into that a little later on, but it's a lot of things. Okay. So we're gonna, as I said earlier, we're going to also get involved and get you involved in the thing that the part of the show that we do have talking about all of this day in history, and all of that's coming along in just a few minutes. But right now, what do you say? We shift gears, right? Go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. How about that? Let's do that. Let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Hopefully his weather's better than mine. And Brian Camp is here coming along with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian, I want to first of all congratulate you, but in your own time, because this is part of your show, in your own time, you will explain why I'm congratulating you in your own little time.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You got
Yeah. 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 Okay. America's team. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. But we'll talk about that later on. Good morning. Good
How's the
evening.
weather out there where you
It
are?
is nice. It is.
I always have to monitor your weather because I kind of get, when your weather, whatever weather you have, I kind of prepare myself for the same.
It's an 8 to 10 degree difference, no matter what time of the year it is.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, as far as the elements, you know, like the rain or the snow, but you don't get snow, right?
If we get some flakes, little flurries, they may shut down the city. Yeah. It's not like the big city like New York City, because we don't have the equipment like we do like in the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Like snow trucks, you know.
Yeah.
I remember buying I bought a SUV, a car, when I first moved down here, and I wanted to get a 4x4. So the dealer said, "Why do you need a 4x4?" I said, "Because I'm accustomed to having a 4x4. He said, "Sir, it doesn't snow down here too often, so you really don't need it." He actually was trying to save me some money, and you know what? He was absolutely right. Why buy a 4x4 when it doesn't snow? Now it may have some rain or maybe some sleet, when you know. And our winter down here in Charlotte, North Carolina, is
60
basically is basically a 2 to 3 week window, maybe even less.
Yeah.
And after that, you know, we just had the big cold front like everybody in the nation had. And after that, it was just within a couple of days, it was great. It was back to people wearing shorts again outside, you know. So yeah.
Well, we can't do that here. We got to take stride here because you know you can catch cold very easily.
Exactly. But it was it's been nice. A little rain. We had a lot of rain a couple of days this week, heavy rains, and when it rains, it's good. It's a good thing when it rains.
Yeah.
It cleans the air, and you know, it feeds the grass, especially in the summertime. But
well, you hear what's going out in Arizona, right?
I've been out of the loop for the news. What's been happening in Arizona? Maybe I did hear it.
Yeah, they got a big drought out there, so we can count on lucky stars. Yeah.
You know, Arizona is a place where it's usually warm all year round. You know, so yeah, so we're kind of blessed in that to have that drought. You know, but hopefully they'll get some wet weather, some rain to feed the crops, and you know, and hopefully everything be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Hope so.
Yeah. So, but it's 61 degrees and it's clear. It's clear. Cloudy. It was a lot of clouds today, but then it cleared up around 4 o'clock. That's when it starts getting dark around 4:30. Now it's getting dark around 5:30 now. So just seemed like a month ago it was getting dark at 4:30, 4:45. But as you know, each day that goes around, the day goes just a little bit longer, and that's like that everywhere in the world. So unless if you live in certain parts of Australia where it's or is it Alaska, where half of the year is dark, it's completely dark for 6 months, and then the next 6 months is nothing but light, day and night. It's light. So that's something I would like to experience, and there's some parts of Australia that's like that too. But Good evening to all who is tuning in to Talk Back Live and get to some sports. Not much to talk about, but football. We are talking about football, and it's playoff time. And the playoffs, there's 8 teams left now, and we're going to kick it off with 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. Saturday, the first game is the NFL divisional AFC and NFC championship division playoff game. On Saturday, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the top seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. That game be on NBC. Kickoff is at 4:30. And then the second game is a primetime game. You know, they always put, even though this is a East Coast game, but the markets of New York and Philadelphia, New York Giants will be traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. That game starts at 8:15. That game is on Fox. They always want to put the highest market, like New York is a high market, Chicago, Philadelphia, and and any California team, So those are your 2 games for Saturday. And Sunday, it's the AFC and the NFC division around January 22nd. You got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills. That game is at 3:30 on CBS. Now, the last time they met, you had that horrific, almost tragedy occurred with the football player who went on the cardiac arrest, and they had to cancel the game. Well, they're meeting again. This time is at Buffalo. Again, I said on CBS at 3:30. And then, the top game of the second game would be on Fox, and that game would be at 6:30. Be America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, my team. Yes, America's team, America's team, play against the San Francisco 49ers. I know they have a big fanfare following. You either love them or you hate them, and it's going to be crazy. And whoever wins this weekend, they'll go into the conference championship, but we're going to take care of this first. So we're going to be in some exciting football game. I don't expect no blowouts. I personally believe all 4 games are going to be competitive. It's going to be fun. It's going to be nail biting. There's going to be a lot of cussing at the television too. I'm pretty sure of that. Hopefully, I will not have to say no finger flacker. I'll just using, some nice hooray, hip hip hooray, let's go Cowboys. I hope. So we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, so fun with football this weekend. This day in sports, January 19th. 1934, Major League Baseball Commissioner Kenshaw Mountain Landis denies Joe Jackson's appeal for reinstatement into baseball. Joe Jackson was in the 1919 scandal where he took some money to see if he could lay down a game where he could make some money illegally. And at that time, it was illegally. Still is, but now you can actually bet on the game, but not as a player though, not as a player. So he was denied. 1937, Cy Young, Tris Speaker, and Nap Largery was elected to Baseball Hall of Fame. And it was, that was back then, 1934. The PGA also approves of allowing Black participants. In those days, Blacks could not play in no country club. You had to get permission, but we're talking back in the 40s and the 30s where you could not be in those kind of clubs. Golf is a very distinguished sport where upperclassmen, they don't allow poor people, period. It's more of a higher upper class group of people that could go into their country clubs to play golf. 1972, Sandy Koufax, Yogi Berra, and Early Wynn was elected to Baseball Hall of Fame. That was in 1972. 1974, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, this is college basketball, defeated the UCLA Bruins 71-70 in South Bend, Indiana. and it ended UCLA 88 game winning streak. They won 88 straight games in a row, which is something that's unbelievable, unheard of. But Notre Dame, I remember that game. I was 12 years old. It was on a Saturday. It was lightning. I mean, to have an 88 game winning streak and you going into South Bend to play a game against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and that game was nail biting to the very end. So I remember that game so dearly. So it was so dear to me. So I was great to be in front of the TV. Even at 12 years old, I have a great memory, especially when it comes to sports, about how it was. 1977, Ernie Banks elected into Baseball Hall of Fame. 1978, Eddie Matthews was elected into Baseball Hall of Fame. 1981, Muhammad Ali talks to a despondent 21-year-old out of committing suicide. Muhammad Ali was not only known for what he did in the ring, but he was also been known to talk to people globally around the world. He saved a lot of people from killing himself. He saved a lot of people from doing things that would get them in trouble. And a lot of people don't realize that. That's why he's one of my favorite people to ever walk this planet Earth and everything. Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest. 1989, President Reagan pardons George Steinbrenner for illegal funds from President Nixon. That was back in the Nixon administration. And he got in trouble, and President Reagan pardons him. 2000, Michael Jordan returns to the NBA, going to the Washington Wizards as a part owner and president. Birthdays on this date: 1944, Dan Reeves, NFL former player and coach, who was born in Rome, Georgia. 1954, Steve DeBerg, NFL quarterback, born in Oakland, California. Otis Anderson, NFL running back, was born in West Palm Beach, Florida. That was in 1957. 1963, Michael Adams, NBA guard, born in Hartford, Connecticut. And in 1969, Junior Seau, NFL linebacker and Hall of Famer, who recently passed away from was related to concussions to the head, to the brain. And they're still going on with this suit about how NFL players could get some kind of compensation for their play where they suffer from head injuries and everything. He was born in Oceanside, California. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
And my Minnesota Vikings didn't make it.
Minnesota Vikings won a lot of close games this year. They won 13 games, but they didn't get the respect. I'll be honest with you. They didn't get the respect from a lot of writers and experts and that cover the sport. That's why, the Giants beat them, and they had a much better record than the Giants, but the Vikings, as pretty as those helmets were, they just did not get the job done.
Sunday was a busy day in football. I mean, I got a chance to see not the entire Buffalo Bill game, but in the third, I think it was the final quarter. The Viking game overlapped them, so I had to the Viking and the Giant game overlapped them, so I had to go back and forth, see who was doing what. So, and I thought the Vikings were going to pull it off, but they didn't even get in the lead one time.
No, yeah,
that was the problem.
No.
That was the problem.
It was competitive. It was very competitive, but Giants had a masterful game plan. Their quarterback really, really performed well, and it's always next year. But I see what happens.
Mostly everybody I know goes for the Giants. I'm kind of like an outcast. It's more the Giants than the Jets. New Yorkers are more for the Giants than they are the Jets.
The Jets will always be second citizens to the New York Giants, just like the Mets will be always second citizens to the New York Yankees. The Mets always try to try to compete against the Yankees. The Yankees is a traditional franchise, and they're right up there with the Cowboys and everything. So yeah.
Tom Brady, Tom Bradley. I'm trying to figure out what his next move is going to. He didn't go out with a bang at all.
Tom Brady, the quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, right.
No, he did not. He lost.
Yeah.
Now we gonna wait and see whether or not he's gonna be. There's speculation he may retire, but we will see. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers is another one. We will see what's going to happen, and they got to make a decision soon. I think Tom Brady is a type of player now where he's scared to get hit. He should retire now, but he has a job waiting for him. No, he has a wonderful job waiting for him.
Yeah, he's 45 years old.
Yeah.
But he's still got a little steam left. But I always thought that when he retired the first time, he should have stayed there. Because when he left, he was on top. But this
he left on top, yeah.
Yeah. But this is like a low blow for him right now.
A lot of people say it has a lot to do. He came back because he wanted to come back. His wife did not want him to come back, and there comes a time where we stay out of marriages, and it has a lot to do with what happened. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, I wish him a lot of luck. Whatever he plans to do, I wish him a lot of luck. Because, like you said, he's not gonna. He's got a lot of things lined up for him.
Yeah. So he's set. But you want him to be ready to go on to his next career. But will he be in the right frame of mind? You don't want him to be knocked around where he's concussed and might not be the same person again.
But I think that's why, he's not saying anything. I have a feeling that he's just going to take a break. I think he's
going to play another year, but he might play somewhere else though.
I don't know. If I were him, if I were 45, which I haven't seen in 45 years, if I were 45 and playing sports, I would kind of think about it, knowing that you got a lot of things in the back burner. You got a lot of things going, no matter what you do. He can take off a year.
But is that for the money? He's not doing it for the money because he got plenty of money, and he got more money coming to him after he retires. That's
why I'm saying he could take off a year if he wants, and then put his thoughts together, and then either go. I would change careers if I were him.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's on him. Whatever he do, I wish him the best.
I agree. Yeah.
And speaking of sportsmanship, I'm a good sportsman. I said to some of my friends who were with the Jets, I congratulate them. Congratulations. You beat me. Congratulations. Didn't get into a big fight about it. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, at 10:05 would be. Can I come on at 10:05?
That sounds great. To me. Sounds great to me. Okay,
sounds good.
We'll see you then.
All right, take care.
Take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And as he said, he'll be here tomorrow morning. He usually does the 2020 feature. It's usually 20 past the hour, but he can make it earlier. So we'll have him there. And that's more or less part of the 2020 feature, but it's earlier. And the second part of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here, and he'll bring us news and entertainment on and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. So that's all coming in. It's been a good football season. There are more games to play. As I said earlier, there are more games to play. And I'll be watching them. My team are going home. They went home. But I'll watch because Super Bowl is coming along. Now, Super Bowl, a lot of people watch Super Bowl for various reasons. They watch Super Bowl for the game itself, particularly if their team are playing in the game. If the team is playing, their particular teams are playing, they'll watch it for the game. Some people watch it for the commercials. And what I usually do each year, I mean, I watch it for the commercials and for the play itself. Even if my team is not in there, I watch it. And then I watch for the commercials, and I always rate each year. You notice I rate each year the, in my opinion, the top commercial of Super Bowl. And I usually post that commercial online saying, this is my pick for this season. I usually do that. Lately, I haven't seen a lot of great Super Bowl commercials, not a lot of great ones lately. I don't know. Maybe they're not coming out with good ideas, because I used to always say that sometimes commercials are more entertaining than the people that they're sponsoring. You know, so we'll see about that. So other people watch it for the game, and then other people watch it for the halftime show. Now this year, the halftime show, Rihanna is performing on the halftime show. Just so you'll know, a lot of people may not know that, so I just figured I'd bring that out to you. Rihanna will be doing the halftime performances for the Super Bowl. So I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. We'll have to see who's going to get in there first. You know, we already know that Rihanna is going to be performing, but we'll have to see what two teams are going to be performing. But we'll know all about that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allen, and I'm going to be with you up until the top of the hour. We thank all of you for being along with us. And just in case you're just joining us, again, we come from 3 different places. We come on Facebook. We're right on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook Live. That's where we are right now. And we're talking to you. We're also on YouTube and Instagram. And again, I just want to repeat, we have a little time left on the show. So what I want you guys to do, if you're watching us on Facebook, is to tag your friends. Right now, we have a little more time in the show. Give them a little chance to check out what's happening, at least some of the show, right? Tag the show to them, and they'll come in. Hopefully, they'll like what they see, and they'll become full-fledged members just like you. And of course, as you already know, it's all free of charge. And again, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, take the opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You see that little red script, and it's in white. The strip is red, but the printing is white, where it says subscribe, right? And you press that button, and you're already in. You're already in. It's free of charge. And of course, the rest of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you so much for being along with us. We really appreciate it. Okay, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time. It's that time. And it's on this day in history. And on this day in history, in 1883, the first electric lighting system employing overhead wires built by Thomas Edison began service in Rochelle, New Jersey. On this day in history, in 1923, WMC, an AM station in Memphis, Tennessee, begins radio transmission. On this day in history, in 1938, General Motors begins mass production on diesel engines. On this day in history, in 1955, The Millionaire TV series premiered on CBS. On this day in history, 1961, the first episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show was filmed. Back in 1985, Born in the USA, a single by Bruce Springsteen, peaks at number 9. Back in 1988, 48 Hours premieres on CBS TV. In 1991, the 48th Global Golden Globes goes to Dancing with the Wolves, starring Jeremy Irons and Kathy Bates. Back in 1991, Eastern Airlines shut down for operation. In 1992, Cy Coleman and David Zippels, their musical City of Angels, closes at the Virginia Theater in New York City after 879 performances. And they win 6 Tony Awards and 8 Drama Desk Awards. In 1993, Columbia Records released The Wheel. That's the 8th studio album by singer and songwriter Rosanne Cash, co-produced by Cash and her future husband, John Leventhal. Back in 1994, the 9th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees were the Animals, the Band, Dwayne Eddy, the Grateful Dead, Elton John, John Lennon, Bob Marley, Rod Stewart, and Willie Dixon, of course, along with Johnny Otis. And the year 2021, the U.S. death toll of COVID-19 passes 400. That's a lot. 400,000. Remember that? Back then. The Everly brothers, Phil Everly, was born on this day in 1939. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. He died at the age of 74 years old. He was born. He died January 3rd, 2014, at the age of 74. And he died from complications from chronic chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, right? There's a tongue twister for you. Back in 1942, actress, singer Shelley Fabre, who made that hit Johnny Angel. He made that big hit, Johnny Angel, and she was also the daughter of Donna Reed on the Donna Reed Show. She also played on that sitcom called Coach, and she was born on this day in Santa Monica, California. She's 79 years old today. Janis Joplin was born on this day in 1943 in Port Arthur, Texas. She died October 4th, 1970, at the age of 27 years old. Dolly Parton, also born on this day in 1949 in Sevierville, Tennessee. She's 77 years old today. Happy birthday. Hello, Dolly. Welcome back where you belong. In 1949, singer-songwriter Robert Palmer was born in Batley, United Kingdom. He died 2003. In 1953, actor Desi Arnaz was born in Los Angeles, California. He's 70 years old today. In 1954, actress Katie Seagal, who played Peg or Peggy on Married with Children, was born in Los Angeles, California. She's 69 years old today. Happy birthday, Peg. If you weren't my wife, I'd kiss you. In 1982, actress Jodie Sweeney, who plays Stephanie Tanner on Full House, was born in Los Angeles, California, too, at the age of 40. That's where her birthday is today, at the age of 40. In 1982, American politician Pete Buttigieg was born in South Bend, Indiana. He's 41 today. In 1977, film director Martin Scorsese divorced Julia Cameron after 1 year of marriage. In 1983, song composer Don Costa dies at the age of 57. In 1998, singer Carl Perkins, who made the big hit Blue Suede Shoes and Honey Don't, died at the age of 65 years old. Actress Hedy Lamarr died on this day in 2000 at the age of 85 from heart failure. She was born November 9th, 1914. She was born in Vienna, Austria-Hungary. And 2006, actor Tony Franciosa dies at the age of 77. R&B singer Wilson Pickett died on this day in 2006. And he died at the age of 64 years old from a heart attack. He was born March 18th, 1941 in Prattville, Alabama. In 2008, actress Suzanne Plessette died on this day, and she was born in 1937. In 2018, actress Dorothy Malone dies at the age of 93. In 2018, actress Olivia Cole dies of a heart attack at the age of 75. I remember Olivia Cole. She wasn't really a household name actress, but I remember she played in Roots. In 2020, jazz saxophonist Jimmy Heath, I met him, was a lovely man. He died at the age of 93. And finally, the year 2020, soul singer Robert Parker, who made that big hit, Barefootin', died at the age of 89. And so that's what's happening on this day in history. If you happen to know anything that's happening on this day in history, please feel free to type it in there so I can see it, because I don't know everything, so you could help me out a little bit. I mean, even historians don't know everything, Sometimes we have to go back and Google and find it. That's one of the good things about technology today. If there's something that you don't know about and you want to learn about, it's right there. I don't know, are people taking trips to the library? I still go to the library. Sure, I still go to the library. And people think that some people think that libraries, I said libraries are obsolete. They're not really obsolete. They're closing some, they close a lot because of this internet thing, because people, they do their researching on the computer. But, if you want to if you're old fashioned like me, if you are old school, you want to get the paperbacks and you want to get the hardcover books, you go right in there and you want to get the reference books. They're right there, Everybody should have their library card. And if you don't, and if you have one and you haven't been to the library in a long time ago, you may have to upgrade it, but as long as you have it in your pocket, you can prove that you have a library card, and they'll look at it and say, hey, you may have to upgrade it. We'll upgrade it for you. It only takes a second, and they'll do that for you. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us on this day, on this Thursday. And it's the 19th day of January. Would you believe that? We're into the 19th day in the new year. And of course, January, before you know, we'll be into February. Everybody will be waiting for that glorious day, that marvelous day, that Valentine's Day. People will be buying all of the candy stores. They'll probably be, really busy, selling those cans, boxes of candy, the heart-shaped boxes with the candy. All right. You ever notice that you may have like a past lover or partner that all of a sudden will come out of the woodwork on Valentine's Day? What are you going to get me for Valentine's Day? Oh, no, we're finished. We're through. We're through. We've had it. No, whatever it is. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We certainly will. Okay, if you're watching your clock right now, it's coming up to 18 minutes, 17 minutes to the hour. 17 minutes to the hour. Is it 17 minutes? No. And 13 minutes to the hour. All right, we got a little time to go. So please stay with us. We have so much to talk about. And those of you, again, who want to chime in conversation, we always welcome you to do that. All you have to do is just type. Let your fingers do the walking. That's what they used to say. Let your fingers do the walking. Type whatever you have to type in. We'll recognize you, and we'll entertain your thoughts. Now, we want to tell you that if you have, and a lot of people, when they come in, not everybody wants to get involved in conversation, and that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. But a lot of people like to get in touch with me. A lot of people do like to get in touch with me. And I have a couple of sources where you can do that. You can get in touch with me. Now, all you have to do, you can call me or you can email me. All right, just either one, doesn't matter. And I will give you the email address first, all right? Here's the email address. Email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Now, spelling is very important here because you want to get through. It's not A-L-L-E-N, it's A-L-L-A-N. And remember to put two L's in there, right? You type in, you say, oh, I email them, bounce back. What happened? Frank Allen Prod, A-L-L-A-N. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. Frank Allen Prod @AOL.com. That's Frank Allen Prod @AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. All you have to do, if you want to just call and find out more about this show, or you have suggestions and ideas, of course, we always listen to you, see what you have to say. We take everything in consideration. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do it, but we always listen to you. If you just want to just say hi, that's all right too. You can do that. People do that, and any ideas that you have, we want you to be part of us. And the telephone number is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, I can tell you the same thing about the email. You can do it anytime. So again, that email address is frankallenprod@AOL.com. That's frankallenprod@AOL.com. Or call 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. What else is new? Nothing. Nothing's new. Nothing's new. You turn on your TV, you turn on the radio, it's the same old song and dance. And I got to tell you, I was disturbed to hear this news. I was really disturbed, but I wasn't surprised. Nothing surprises me anymore. Republican Solomon Pena. Okay, you heard about this guy, Solomon Pena. He was accused of conspiring with and paying 4 men to carry out 4 shootings at an Albuquerque area in 3 people's home. They're at the 2 state legislators, 2 of them. Now, can you imagine that? They wouldn't fire. And you know what he did? Let me tell you what he did. And they had video of it. I saw a video of it. You know, that's why, you know, you got to watch what you do, because everywhere you go, even if you're on the outside, everyone's under a microscope. Unfortunately, everyone have cell phones. Everyone have cameras, and they have body cameras, and they have and everybody's taping. And then when you're walking down the street, passing a building, you'll see there's a camera there, there's a camera there, there's a camera across the street. That's why crimes are not as plentiful as they once were before all of this went down, because they know if it happens, they can always go back and check out the footage. Okay, so he goes and visit these homes that he's targeting. That takes a lot of gall to do that. He goes and check out these homes that people are targeting. Oh boy, okay, so that's what he does, right? So after he does that, so he hires these 2 guys with guns to fire into these houses, right? And he fired into one of the houses where there was a little girl asleep in the apartment. There was a little girl asleep. And here's the story. The little girl woke up and called her mom and said, her mom said, you know, she got scared because she heard some kind of noise or something, whatever it was. And she wanted her mom to, you know, get in bed with her. And her mom asked her, why is it so sandy in your bed? You know, why is it so sandy? This little weasel he hired these people, shot the house, and the bullet hole went through, almost hit the girl, almost hit the baby, went through the wall and into the girl's room. All right. And that's what happened. So, you know, and why did he hire these people? Because he lost 50% of the vote to his constituents, right? To the people he was running against. He lost just because he lost. Now, does that sound familiar? You know, oh, I lost. No, it was the voting were rigged. They were rigged. You know, no one's going to do anything about it. So I'm going to have these people bumped off, right? They were rigged. Oh, it was rigged. All right. So they got him. They caught him. Can you imagine that? And he's a supporter of 345/666 Beast Incarnate. So, you know, I hope he gets everything that he deserves. I don't wish, you know, like bodily harm or anything like that. But, you know, whatever time they're going to give him in lock up, give him the max. Give him the max. We could talk more about that later. We could talk more about that tomorrow on the show. But I want to move right along because Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh man, do you realize that remember when they took her down off of a committee because of her racist, stupid remarks? Remember that? Well, the new Republican House Speaker, all right, Kevin McCarthy, put it back. Now she's up there, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now she's on Homeland Security and the Oversight Committee. She's operating these 2 committees, an Oversight Committee, along with Paul Gosar and Lauren Boebert. Boebert is a psycho. She's a real psycho. She's a second coming of, I guess, Sarah Palin. She kind of looks like her. All right. Anyway, So he reported them. He put them up there. So they're back on to where they were. And the liar, George Liar Santos is on the Small Business Committee now. Now, these people on the House of Representatives, right? He's on the small committee. It's terrible the way they do this thing. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mentioned it last week on the show that the next 2 years, it's going to be a long 2 years for the House. Because if you thought the clown show was happening before this guy was put on, or before he was handled his gavel, if you thought that clown show was then, there's going to be more of it. There's going to be more of it. This time it's going to be a little more dangerous now. You know, I don't know what it's coming to. It's kind of like when you watch the news, you say, you know what? I don't have time to digest this. So I'm going to turn off. I'm going to turn it off, you know, and go someplace else, watch comedy or something else, right? And this is not the kind of comedy you want because it's not funny. I call it the circus. I call it the circus show. But it's not the kind of comedy you want to talk about, you know. And then you remember Alexander, remember him? Okay, now he was the founder of the what was he a founder of? He was the founder of Stop the Steal movement, that bowel movement, Stop the Steal. All right. Now I played a clip, a video, audio clip on the coffee hour last Friday. I want to share it with you because I didn't play it. I want to share it with you. I want you to listen to it right now.
How dare you? You disrespect the Western tradition. You disrespect America. You know nothing about the founding. Go home. Go home. Go home. In the coming days, I'm going to reveal that Marjorie Taylor Greene, in my summation and the summation of lawyers, committed a crime. That crime is going to be handed to the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia will decide whether they adjudicate that crime or not. The House Ethics Committee and House Rules must expel Marjorie Taylor Greene when this evidence comes to light. Go home. I am done with you. You are lukewarm. I am spitting you out of my mouth. You played me and no more. Everyone will know about your drunken nights because the consultants who have drunk with you will have to choose whether they fear me or whether they fear you. And they fear me, Marge. They fear me a lot more than they fear you. You don't know this saying because you're too new. When you were on the keyboards and masturbating to transvestites in Seattle, I was fighting and bleeding for this country, Marge. I came here before you. I will be here after you. Go home. The Democrats haven't gained one vote. They are not a threat to us. You are a harlot and a liar. You supported Q. You talked about Jewish people, and now you denounce people who talk about Jewish power. Now you want to act like you're not into conspiracies. Girl, go get your teeth fixed. I will not suffer this harlot. I will not be taught vows and loyalty, commitment from a whore. You have got me mistaken for some damn fool, and a fool, Ollie Alexander, has never been called.
You know, we didn't edit that because we didn't take the time to edit it because it would have taken the impact of the audio out of it. But I played that to let you know that if this guy has so much on her, and I received this audio last week. It's a week now. And he said he was going to make this announcement in the upcoming days. Here we are a week later. If he has any kind of information on her, why don't he just come out and say it? Bunch of hot air. Ladies and gentlemen, usually I give you the information on the movies. We don't have any this week. No movies this week. So we didn't have any picks of the week. But go to Turner Classic Movie and scroll down to the scroll down and find out, on the program guide, and maybe you'll see something there. But we don't have any this week, and I'm sorry about that. But listen, we're going to be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour. The coffee hour starts at 10 a.m. and Brian Camp will be here with sports, DJ Pete, of course, information with information news for entertainment. And we'll look forward to tomorrow. Other than that, I'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be here as well. So you guys take care. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.